The most important relationship you will ever have in life is the one that you have with yourself. That's what we're going to be discussing here tonight live. I also have FuriousReactor Gaming standing by live on the StreamYard, and we're going to be going one-on-one, so you're not going to want to miss a single second of this show. So stick around for all of that and much, much more that's coming right. From Northern California, welcome to Navigating the Modern World with Coach Eli. And if this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, please consider subscribing and then banging that bell so that way you won't miss a single thing when it comes to getting a better grip on your life. That's right. That's what we're here to do on the Grip on Life channel. We are here to help each and every one of you get the best possible grip on your life. So that way, as always, like I say, you can accomplish whatever it is that your heart desires. Now, let me make sure that the notification has gone out. And let me just make sure that the back end of YouTube is rolling. The notification has gone out. And it looks like we have an excellent stream status. Give me just 1 second here. Give me 1 second here. You know, whenever I run a StreamYard or a panel, you know, I've got my system like really running at the max. I'll have to get a new laptop soon because I just run so much, but it should be rolling just fine. And before we go any further, I'd like to pay special props once again to this channel sponsor, Mr. Troy Brewer, a good longtime friend of mine who is a CEO, founder, and owner of the Discover Community Network for all of your product and service needs from the most trusted professionals in the industry. Please consider visiting www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. One more time, that's www.discovercommunitynetwork.com. You can also visit a subsidiary of the Discover Community Network known as the DCN Internet Radio Network. And when you go on that website, you're going to find a bunch of talk and music internet radio stations. And more than likely, one of those talk or music internet radio stations will suit your genre needs. So if you like listening to talk radio or music throughout your days, please consider visiting www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. One more time, that's www.dcninternetradionetwork.com. Both those links are below in the description, about a third of the way down. And if you decide to check out those websites and also find out how to connect with Troy, and you decide to send him an email, please do not fail to mention Happy Holidays from Coach Eli, and Coach Eli sends you with lots and lots of love. Now, yes, those links will remain in the description unless YouTube decides to, further, eliminate things such as they've eliminated the capabilities, which is what I'm trying to say, to put links in the chat. Except for Nightbot. Nightbot's still able to share my links. I'm still going to test out and see if I can add new links through Nightbot. Haven't had the chance to do that, but for the time being, it looks like all past links that I had set on Nightbot are still able to display in the chat. But I don't know if I add new links to Nightbot, if they'll pop up, or if Google and YouTube has shut that down. But at least what we do know, as of the last week or so, and many other creators have been talking about this or complaining, right? We complain about everything out here, right? You're not able to share any links in the chat, even if they're YouTube links that will keep people on the platform. And when there's more information regarding that, if there ever is more information, I will do a video or live stream and share more regarding that. Before we get to Will, aka FuriousReactor Gaming, who's standing by patiently live on StreamYard, I just want to let's just discuss let's talk about the topic real quick here. Let's mention what the topic is. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm just so excited that Will is here. I flipped my marbles already, so don't mind me. The topic of tonight's stream is one-on-one with FuriousReactor Gaming, and the most important relationship you have is with yourself. One more time. One-on-one with FuriousReactor Gaming, who's standing by live patiently on StreamYard. We'll get to him in a second. And the topic is the most important relationship you have is with yourself. I want to share a few thoughts on this before I bring Will on. And we're going to be talking about this with Will. We're going to be talking about, things that Will and I experienced out here on YouTube over the past 12 to 18 months. And how Will's been able to turn it around. And you folks know my story already. I've done my best to turn it around. But I'm just very impressed at, how Will has started to make some changes for himself in his life. He's a young man in his mid-20s. And I will tell you, nowadays, in the modern world, the people that struggle the most are young men. Our young men are, being left alone and not being taught how this modern world is. And it's a crazy world. It's a crazy world, especially now that we have women that have been liberated. Women are working. They're, buying their own homes, their own cars. They're taking care of themselves, and they really don't need a man for much of anything unless they want a kid. And even then, there are men that go and make donations to the sperm bank, and women can go there and have their pick by just looking at a picture and not even having to deal with the guy. So women don't even have to deal with guys anymore nowadays if they don't want that. But if you're going to be in a relationship, if you're going to associate with women in romantic ways, our youth are not being, taught what's really going on. They've been thrown into this world, this crazy abyss of what the heck is going on. And because I'm experienced at this, I'm a bit older. I just turned 47 a few days ago. And by the way, if you missed my birthday stream, go back and check it out. Will was on that stream as well with a bunch of my other moderators, and we had a great time, and the conversation was great. Check it out. But yeah, like if you're, like Will, who's a good guy and just wants to have a happy life and just wants to enjoy life, but, he puts himself out there to this world and he's wondering what the heck is going on? What happened? What's going on? I'm a decent dude and I don't know what the heck's going on. So I get it. Now, let me just make one more comment here regarding the topic. Many people, especially our youth, might think that this topic sounds really stupid. The most important relationship you have is with yourself. What do you mean by that, Eli? Do you mean, when us guys don't have a girlfriend for a while and we take care of ourselves in a personal way? Well, I mean, that is kind of considered having a relationship with yourself because you're not with a woman that you could be enjoying that with. I'm trying to say that as advertiser friendly as possible, but I think you get the hint. But no, it's more than that. Like I keep saying out here, folks, in order for other people to love you and for you to be able to love other people so that way they can reciprocate love, it starts with loving yourself first. And again, while that may sound stupid, while that may sound like it's selfish, it is not a selfish thing, because if you're not a happy person in a happy place and you exude happiness, no one's going to want to be around you. Just understand that. I mean, it makes perfect sense. If you're a negative Nelly or negative Nancy and you go around whining and complaining and making it difficult for people to communicate with you and associate with you, that's why people aren't around you, because they pick up on that negativity and they don't want anything to do with that. So how do you get people to start coming around you and, being in your life in a positive way? It starts with you being positive, loving yourself, and exuding that positivity out into the universe. So again, while it may sound stupid to some people, it actually makes perfect sense. All right. So without further ado, let's get to Will, aka Reactor Gaming. I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the quad screen over here. And I'm going to pop on Will. Will, welcome to the show, bro. We're going to give you a big, huge round of applause. Welcome to the show, bro. Are you there?
Yeah, it's good to be here.
It's great to have you here, bro. It's great to have you here. You're in a dark abyss over there, aren't you? That's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah.
So go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Past time that I was on here from your birthday stream.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Were you gonna? Oh, what? Go ahead.
Okay, as I was looking at the stream because I've got it playing on my TV. And apparently, my picture ain't coming through. That's weird.
Oh, your picture isn't coming through. Maybe I should do. Give me just 1 second here. I forgot to actually do something here. This is what I typically do when I have someone on the stream. I put their channel on the bottom right corner of the quad screen. FuriousReactor Gaming. All right.
Yeah, I guess my camera's not working well. Oh, well.
Hey, as long as we can hear you, bro, as long as we can hear you, that is all that matters. Okay.
But yeah.
So it looks like now your channel is showing on the bottom right. Folks, if you want to subscribe to FuriousReactor Gaming, go up in the description about a couple lines down, and his link is there. Subscribe, bang the bell, select all notifications because Will, a.k.a. FuriousReactor Gaming, we're going to be doing a lot of collabs later on this year. And before you respond, Nuts World is going to make a quick appearance because she's with her family. She's in the chat. Hey, Eli and everyone, sorry I am late, was with family, then had a phone call. Oh, you're here. Oh, Mutt's here. She's here live, bro. So go ahead, Will.
But yeah, I know you probably seen on here, but they probably didn't see it. But since your stream, I had, as you've seen, I got my hair cut. Because, I mean, with the kind of work I do, I gotta make sure I'm ship shape and everything. Because I want to make sure that with the way I am and everything, like you say, I want to look good. You want to love the way you look and everything. You gotta love your own self before anybody else can love you.
Yeah, absolutely. Mutt Nuts World says, hey, Will, bro, hugs. Mutt is
Hugs
awesome.
to you too, Mutt Nuts.
Yeah. And Will, like you just mentioned, that's like the most important thing that I've tried to help people with, because that's one of the things I struggled with when I was growing up. I was always an outgoing, happy-go-lucky person. But as I got older, I started to realize in my teens and 20s, I really didn't love myself that much, or at least as much as I do today. And it's not about, it's not about loving yourself in a selfish way where it's all about me. It's all about being happy with what you see in the mirror, with the personality that you have. And it's about having a mindset, in my opinion, you can let me know what you think here in a second, of treating others the way you'd want to be treated. Why are you going to treat other people poorly when you yourself don't want to be treated poorly, right? Does that make sense, Will? I mean...
Exactly. You're right. Because think about this. And I know most people may believe in God, may not, but I believe in the golden rule. Treat others how you want to be treated. And think about the way, if you are mean to them, they're going to be mean back to you, and you are going to wonder why. And with the way that people are taught nowadays, they don't understand fully why they were treated so badly after treating someone the same way.
Right. Absolutely, Will. Absolutely. And I know that over the last, gosh, how long have we known each other for now? It's been at least, what, a year and a half, Will?
Actually, it has been a year, a little over a year.
It's been over a year. It's been closer to, I believe, a year and a half. I believe I met you, and I believe you introduced me to Chris, a.k.a. Firewolf Studios, right? We all met through the former growth stream that really doesn't exist anymore because YouTube started cracking down on it. And I understand why they were cracking down on it, because a lot of people were not doing it the right way. And a lot of people, were making a lot of money running growth streams. And it's like, wow, like I'm actually making real content, and people that are like, running, and with no disrespect, people that are running sub for sub growth streams and not doing the networking properly are making a ton of money. Like, I'm like, okay. So YouTube started more so cracking down on that. That's why you're not really seeing that many growth stream channels around. I mean, there are still a few. Have you seen a channel called Runny Egg?
No, I have not.
Yeah, there's a channel out there, guy that calls his channel name Runny Egg. I think he's from like the UK. He's got some accent, and he's like, he kind of sounds like one of those used car salesmen or auctioneers. Like, we got Nuts World in the chat. We got Nuts World in there, and let's go smash your big red support button. And it's like, I'm like, and the guy's making super chats and getting a bunch of people on there for that. And what a lot of people don't realize, Will, is that when you do sub for sub, okay, or you don't, connect with these people in the proper ways like you and I have, right? And Mutt and I have, and other people that are associated with me have. Like, in essence, these people are not going to watch your content. You're going to have empty, dead subscribers that are going to harm you from triggering the YouTube algorithm. Because if you have 1,000 subscribers on your channel and they all get notifications, and only like 3 of them out of 1,000 watch your videos, it's going to tell YouTube that you've got a lot of dead people on your channel, right? Well, I mean, what are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, that's why, like, with my subs, I've dropped the numbers big time. Like, I was almost up to 1,300, and ever since. I mean, I only stepped away for a little bit, but that was like to find my jobs and find the job that I'm doing now.
Right.
And now I've dropped down to almost back down to 1K. I've lost over 200 people. And
that's okay. And you know what the truth of the matter is? And I'm not showing my sub count. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
But yeah, that's just YouTube taking away those dead subs.
Mm-hmm. Not only that, Will, like I've lost. I'm not showing my sub count. I haven't shown it for 5 months. I'm going to turn it back on when the time is right, early on in 2021, and I'm doing that because the trolls like to have a field day. They like to talk a bunch of smack, right? So until I get this channel exactly where I want it and say, boom, you thought I was a failure? No, check this out, right? So, I'm not showing the like and dislike, ratio. I have the user ratings off, and I have the subscriber count off. But I will say this: over the last 4 to 5 months, especially that I completely withdrew myself from this drama sphere that both you and I used to be drowning in, bro. We'll get to more of that in just a little bit. A lot of those people started to unsubscribe, plus, the dead subscribers. So I've lost a lot of subscribers, but they've been replaced with new subscribers. So my sub count has gone up a little bit, but not a whole lot in the last 4 months, it's a good thing, Will. See, this is what I try to tell people. When you come out on YouTube, you're not, no one knows exactly what the right thing is to do to grow. And let's say you do what we did. We did some growth stream stuff, and we were a part of the wrong communities that weren't in alignment with what we're trying to accomplish. So now we figured it out. Now we've removed those people. Those people are not going to be interested in our content anymore, so they're going to naturally unsubscribe. So in essence, these people are doing us a favor, because the people that we have left on our channel will more so watch our content, which will give the YouTube algorithm more positive information to suggest our videos as we continue to create new videos and grow. And in the long run, Will, I think you're thinking the same thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's what's going to happen. What are your thoughts?
Oh, you're right. And it's going to show that what we did, leaving that stuff behind, has made our channels for the better.
Right. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Now I know there's so much to talk about. We're probably gonna go for like another hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour. So we have plenty of time. We're not gonna make this show too long, but not too short. We want people to learn as much about you and get you the most exposure possible, but also not to the point of where we're here all night and then no one's gonna watch like an 8-hour stream. Right.
Yeah, I mean, I got to learn that too with my streams I've been doing. I've been doing like 4 or 5 hour streams, but I see where I'm doing gaming. I got to learn, hey, cut them down into smaller chapter gameplays. It'll keep them around longer.
Right. Not only that, dude, you can run your long live streams, but then take clips of the best parts of your games and then do some commentary like on the replay, or if you're doing commentary while you're gaming, which is what most people do, take the clips of the best parts of your streams and then put out like a 10 to 15 minute video, and that's going to be the one that's going to trigger the algorithm. Because, yeah, I noticed those long streams that we do. Like I did a 3-hour, almost 4-hour live stream on my birthday, and my average view duration was about 15 minutes. Now, you're thinking, okay, it's good. We're keeping people on for 15 minutes. But percentage-wise, I mean, that's less than 10% or around 10% of a 4-hour video. And that's not going to trigger the YouTube algorithm to get them to think that, oh, this is great content we need to suggest to the entire platform. You know what I mean? Right, Will?
Yeah. You want something short and sweet that's going to trigger that algorithm to let YouTube know, hey, this might be a good channel here.
Right. And not only that, Will, like once you trigger the algorithm and you start getting some new subscribers, those people are going to get to know you, and then they're going to be more prone to want to hang out on a 2, 3, 4-hour live stream once they get to know you. But if they don't know who we are, like you and I have a relationship, we know each other, right? We support each other, right? We want to create those same relationships with people that don't know about us, right? That's what I feel would be the best way to approach it. You know what I mean?
You're right. You want to act like you're just meeting everybody for the first time and try to get them to understand where you're coming from, what you do on your channel, and maybe later down the road you can get like people to come up on, get to know you even better in person, like talk to them, and they'll want to stick around longer.
Okay, I got to say one thing real quick here. I'm not going to mention the name. It's a private donation I just got on Cash App, and I am assuming they want me to keep it private, which is why they said private donation on it. Thank you very much for the $5 Cash App. I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate it. I know who you are, and all I got to say is this is the person that donated. I know you're still a part of that, drama sphere as well. Maybe you enjoy that type of content, and that's cool. Not a big deal, but I respect the fact that you appreciate this content as well. Maybe you just like a little entertainment at the same time. And when you're dealing with, here's the thing, well, let's get into this here because this donation leads into part of what I'd like to discuss with you here tonight and get your opinion on. But, we were a part of this drama sphere for a long time, me longer than you. And you had your own drama sphere before you met me. And there's drama is all around on YouTube, right? But I got to say this, the drama sphere I was a part of unintentionally is unlike anything I've ever seen in any drama sphere. It stemmed back from a group I joined called MGTOW, which stands for Men Going Their Own Way. And the people that started MGTOW didn't start MGTOW to make it a bashing group on women. They started MGTOW to, to allow, modern young men that are growing up to understand what they're up against when it comes to women in the modern world. The fact that women are now empowered. They have equal rights, equal pay for equal work, the right to bear arms, the right to vote, the same rights that only once men had, right? So women are going to college, they're getting a degree, they're getting jobs, they're making lots of money, they're buying their own homes, their own cars, like I mentioned earlier on the show, right? And they're surpassing, and this is where part of the issue is, they're surpassing a lot of young men. So when young men are looking at these women that have risen up, and these young men are not at the level, where these women are at, it gets quite intimidating. So this group, MGTOW, was created to, help teach our youth, our younger men, and even us older guys too. We've learned a lot from it too. What we're up against and what the risks are if we're going to date or marry a woman in the modern world. Okay. Great concept, right? So it's not about attacking women. It's not about, for me, I love women. And I think you love women too, Will. You want to find the right one, right? Exactly. I don't have a problem with women. I do not want to live the rest I can't even talk. I do not want to live the rest of my life not ever snuggling or being intimate with a woman again. I enjoy that too much, Will. You're a man. Tell me real quick before I continue. You like that. Like, you would not want to give that up as a man, right?
Because without woman's touch or anything like that, us men would go nuts.
We already go nuts, bro, and we have nuts too. That's why we go nuts. That was as advertiser friendly as I could possibly say it, dude. but Will, here's the thing. Now, if we go back to this MGTOW group I was talking about, right? Okay. Yeah. So I joined this group because one of my subscribers, a really good guy, made me aware of this MGTOW content creator named Sandman, who's actually a pretty good guy. I believe he's in Canada, and he has a good channel, and he creates great content. And he made me aware that, Eli, sounds like you're purple pill. You're not, blue pill. You're not a man that's, not awake regarding to how women are nowadays, but you're also, you have the knowledge of the red pill, which is knowing what men are up against with women. But the difference between the purple pill and the red pill is that the red pill guys have just chosen to, if not completely withdraw from women, at least these guys are not dating or marrying women. They're just maybe friends with benefits or hooking up. And most of the guys are not even doing that. A lot of the guys in the MGTOW community are known as MGTOW monks, meaning that they will never be intimate with a woman again or date a woman again casually or in any way. They're friends with women, but that's as far as it goes. Now, I could never give that up, so I'm purple pill. I proceed, because I love women, just like you do, Will, I proceed with the caution and awareness of the red pill knowledge, right? Now, when I first went out looking for a MGTOW channel, I was looking for a purple pill channel. Now, I don't want to mention this guy's name. You know who I'm talking about. And this guy, what he's still doing nowadays and the people he associates with and the drama panels he puts on, it's so pathetic seeing these middle-aged, grown men behave so immaturely and insecurely on his panels. But I went to look for a purple pill channel, and I found this guy's channel. It was called the Purple Pill. Now he's rebranded it years later. And I reached out to connect with him. And, he was so skeptical about wanting to collaborate with me because he's been so hurt in the past. And I'm thinking to myself, what's wrong with this guy? Is this guy not a man? He's creating purple pill MGTOW content. I really liked his content. I checked it out before I reached out to him. But he kept on asking me when we connected, by Hangouts phone back then, after I'd emailed him to set up the call, he's like, what do you want? I'm like, dude, I just want to get to know you. I'm a new YouTuber. I'm a coach. I was made aware of the MGTOW community by a subscriber. I just want to connect with people and maybe do some interviews or videos together. Like, dude, I was just really beginning to realize that this guy was very, very insecure. And so I kind of backed off, right? But because I had initiated contact, this guy kept following me. And then when I started doing some other, content, because, I started talking about purple pill and red pill and all that stuff. And sometimes I'd put the MGTOW name in my titles. Not a good thing to do anymore nowadays because the YouTube artificial intelligence does not like MGTOW. It doesn't like MGTOW in your titles. But, a lot more of these guys started to come at me because they said that you're not MGTOW and, you're misrepresenting MGTOW and, you still want to be on the plantation with women and let women screw you over. I'm like, no, dude, I just want to help people better understand relationships, right? So what ended up happening was, and this is what you're kind of still dealing with today for the few people that remain in that drama group we used to be a part of, including this one guy that used to run the Purple Pill channel. I think you know what I'm talking about. The people that still remain, it's really sad looking at them and how unhappy they are within themselves. I'm not trying to criticize, Will. I'm just stating the facts, and I'll get your opinion in just a second. But this dude will bring a panel of 10 people on StreamYard, primarily, middle-aged Caucasian men. Now, sometimes it's other ethnicities, but it just seems like to me, the majority of angry and bitter men that I see regarding this community are middle-aged, Caucasian, conservative, extremist men that are just unhappy within their lives and themselves, and all they're doing is conglomerating on a panel and projecting their insecurities onto other insecure people that follow this content in their chat. Like the audience that follows this content is just like the people on the panel. So like attracts like. Now, before I turn it back to you, Will, I know you're more conservative than liberal, and I'm more slight left than on the right. I'm more down the middle. But see, what I like about you, Will, is that I think you're also more kind of like right down the middle, even though you do support President Trump and you're a little more on the right. I think you're more about what makes sense for the best overall interest of everyone. So share your thoughts about that. And also, what are your thoughts about what these people continue to do in this drama sphere group that we got away from? Because is it pretty pathetic? I mean, I think it is. It's just sad to see these grown men behave this way. Go ahead, bro.
I mean, I really don't want to talk about them because because
they'll attack us? Is that what you're saying?
No, it's just that I just don't want them to. I just don't want to. Remember back then, it's just like they do their own thing. I just let them do their own thing, and I go on with what I do. If they want to do what they're doing, it's their content. I mean,
sure.
And if people like it, they can go for it.
Yeah, Will, real quick. Lewis Fuller, welcome to the show. Good evening. Real quick before you continue, Will. No, I totally understand why you don't want to talk about it. It's not a big deal. The only reason why I brought it up is because this is what's happening to a lot of our men nowadays. Primarily, it's with our younger men, but in some cases, even grown men in their 30s, 40s, and 50s and 60s are coming out here on YouTube and behaving this way. And it's really sad to see the decline of middle-aged men, especially I can only speak about what I see here in the U.S., but I think it's the same all over the world. Here in the U.S., I'm seeing a decline in masculinity, especially when it comes to middle-aged, conservative, Caucasian men and the way that they behave. And they're just, instead of working on themselves and bettering themselves and being in a happy and peaceful state, they continue to dwell in each other's misery. And it's really sad. That's the only reason why I mentioned it, bro. It's just really sad to see men behaving this way. And so if you want to share an opinion in general, not, talking about that specifically, that's kind of where I was headed with this, but go ahead.
But yeah, I mean, there is a lot of people nowadays. I mean, because might not just be us millennials and stuff like that, but there's other generations even the older generations, even the younger ones, Gen X and Gen Zs.
Gen Zs are the ones after you. Yeah.
They don't fully understand how this world can be. They're just thrown out there to defend for themselves without any education on how the world is.
Right.
They may constantly get hurt. Because let me tell you, I was down that road. I used to be down that road big time. And I learned, hey, things are going to happen. I just got to learn from them and move on with my life.
Right. Right. You're right, Will. You're absolutely right. And, that's why I decided to start doing what I do, because I realized in my early 40s, if I'm a man that's dealing with this regarding modern day women, for example, it's just for example purposes. I don't hate women. I love women. The ones that deserve to be loved, at least. let's be real about it, right? But the other ones I just ignore, right? I'm not here to attack the crazy ones. They're crazy guys too, to be fair. But the reason why I started doing this is because I myself, an experienced man in my 40s, was still, trying to figure out what the heck's going on. And if I, in my 40s, is struggling to figure out what's going on, I can only imagine. Oh, I think Will just got cut off. I'm going to have to bring him back on when he pops on in. Let's just wait a second. Will lost the connection. We'll wait to see when Will pops back on. I'm going to wait for Will to pop back on before I continue here. I'm going to check out the chat. Lewis Fuller, how you doing, bro? Let me go back to full screen for a second. How you doing, Lewis Fuller? Will does have better internet where he's at now, but I guess at times. Oh, there he is. Hey, welcome back, bro. That. There you are. Hey, you're on video now. Let me go back to the
phone glitched out on me. That's what it was.
Oh. Hey, you're back. I'm going to put you full screen for a second there so people can actually see you. There he is. There he is. You're looking good and you're feeling good, huh, bro?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So let's continue with what we were saying. So what I was saying, Will, is that if I, a man in my early 40s, having that much life experience compared to someone your age or younger, right? Young men, right?
Yeah.
Was struggling to figure out what the heck is going on with women. Like when I was younger, in my 20s, it was a lot easier to bond with. Go ahead.
My mom was asking what was going on.
Oh, no worries. No worries. So if I, a man in my 40s, was struggling with this, I can only imagine what a man in his 20s or teens is feeling, right? So I said, I'm going to figure this whole thing out. Even though I've learned enough about it, there are things that I more so need to learn. And I'll be honest with you, being a part of that MGTOW community for a while, if we throw out the negative aspects of it, I learned a lot about modern day female nature. In addition, I follow some great coaches that I highly recommend. One is Coach Corey Wayne, and another one is Coach Dan Bacon. Coach Corey Wayne, that's the name of his channel, and Dan Bacon is just Dan Bacon. And I tell you, if you want some additional material besides what I provide here, those are two coaches that if you watch their videos over and over again, you're gonna learn a lot. It's gonna build your confidence, and you're gonna learn what to look for and what to stay away from, which will save you a lot of time. And you're also gonna learn to stand up for yourself and not let a woman control you, especially when you've done nothing wrong and don't deserve to be controlled. You're a dude. You got to be happy with yourself, and then you got to be happy with who you're with. And if you're not happy with somebody that you're with, you got to stand up for yourself and let them know how you honestly feel, or you're going to drive yourself crazy, right, Will?
Oh yeah, because it was in my younger days when I had just gotten out of high school, and I actually dealt with one of my exes that was controlling. Wouldn't let me hang out with my friends. Wouldn't let me do this. Wouldn't let me do anything that I wanted to do. I was like, you know what? You're going to keep this up? I'm gone, and you will not get me back.
She was jealous and controlling. It sounded like she was that way, huh, Will?
Oh, she was.
Wow.
Like if she didn't get her way, she would try to purposely. I'm not going to say it on here because YouTube don't like it.
She would withhold the pea, is what you're saying. She would dangle the carrot and withhold the pea if you didn't conform to her wants and needs, right?
Not just that, she would also threaten to do. I'm trying to word it. Oh, crap.
Chop your balls off?
No, she would do something to herself.
Oh, she would threaten to do self-harm, is what you're saying. Okay. Yeah. We could say self-harm. Not a big deal. It's in the right context. See, and that right there, Will, it taught you a lesson. It taught you a lesson to learn how to better identify women that are that insecure and emotionally unstable to the point of where you're going to find out about that earlier on, and you're going to withdraw from a relationship like that or a woman like that earlier on before you get emotionally attached, and it's harder to leave, right? Does that make sense? Or
exactly, you're right.
Yeah. So she would use self-harm to try to control you.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I almost literally put her in an asylum myself. That's how bad it got.
Wow. Let me ask you, Will. She must have been pretty cute, pretty hot when you met her. She was pretty attractive, huh?
Well, at first.
Well, of course, Will. I mean, what attracted you to her in the first place was you were attracted to her before you found out how she was deep within, right?
Oh, yeah.
So she was probably hot, cute. You're like, wow, I could picture myself having a little nookie with this one, right? I could picture a little fun loving, right? But then you get involved with her, you have a little nookie, right? And then all of a sudden, one thing leads to another, and everything changes. Once you get that nookie, a lot of women think that they can hook men. And trust me, when you're younger, like same thing happened to me with my high school sweetheart. She was a cheerleader. She was hot. She was cute. Everything was great, right? And once you get that closeness with them, they know that you want more and more of that because women mature faster than men. And then they start to, dangle the carrot, start to become a little more controlling. They start to ask for unreasonable things. And as a man, they kind of make you feel without saying this, that if you don't do this, you're not going to get any more nookie. Like nowadays, let me tell you something. If a woman, there are women out there nowadays that still try to play that game where they're going to withhold, the pee, right? They're going to withhold the intimacy, the sex, right? And you know what I tell those women? I would rather, I'd say goodbye. I would rather be single for 2 years and take care of myself. And I'd say it in the most advertiser-friendly way. Well, take care of, please myself, than have to deal with your BS. The fact that you're hot, great. You're a hot chick. Whoop-de-doo. How many hot chicks are there out there? But you know what's the hottest thing about a chick, Will? It's not even her looks. It's her heart, her soul, the way she communicates.
It's her character.
It's her character. Exactly. Go ahead, Will. Sorry. Go ahead, man. I love this topic.
It's their character, their actions. That's what gets to a man's heart for real. Is more of what's in the heart and on the mind than looks.
Right. Absolutely, bro. You're absolutely right. And that's what a lot of our younger men don't understand nowadays. If they get attention from a hot chick, they're like, whooping, right? They're like, she's paying attention to me. Oh, she's hot. I would love to tap that. That's how they think, right? I'd love to tap that, right? Right. But let me tell you something, guys. There's a lot more that comes with a woman than tapping that or after you tap that. Once you tap that, whoo, let's say you just don't want to see her anymore after that, right? And let's say you're at the same school. You got to deal with her. You're going to deal with her talking smack about you to every other chick and say, well, I wouldn't trust this guy. Don't give this guy a chance, right? If you give the wrong woman a chance in today's day and age, okay, especially if you, let's say, you hang out with her a few dates, you're intimate, you realize after that it's just not worth it, and you withdraw. If they can make your life miserable publicly, they'll humiliate you. That's how some of them are, and you got to be real careful. Go ahead, Will.
Yeah, you're right, because they're not all women, but there are some women out there that are vindictive that way.
Very spiteful and
purposely
vindictive.
Ruin a man's life.
Mm-hmm. You know why? Why do you think these women that you say are out there that purposefully are out there to ruin a man's life? Why do you think, Will, those women try to do that?
I've honestly not fully understood the reason why.
I could share my opinion. Would you like to hear that?
Yeah, exactly.
It's pretty simple to me based on what I've experienced. It's the fact that they don't love themselves. They're very insecure. And Will, women are biologically going to be a little more insecure than men, right? That's just how there's a normal level of women being biologically insecure. But then you get those women that are extremely insecure beyond the normal biological level of a woman being insecure, right? So when you're dealing with one of those extremely insecure women that doesn't love themselves, which is what I'm trying to say, they're going to project those insecurities onto you, the guy, right? Especially if you pick up on the fact that they're not somebody that's good to date because of that extreme insecurity or the emotional instability, right? When you pick up on that, and let's say you even just walk away from them, and not even call them out, hey, this is just not working for me. If you're mature and you even walk away from a woman like that, some of those women will still try to come at you and make your life miserable. It's just because that's the way they are. That's the way they were raised. Maybe they came from a broken household. Maybe they didn't have enough nurturing love. There are reasons for it, but those are the types of women that you really have got to stay away from.
Oh, yeah.
Go ahead.
You're right, because I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
But now I've understood, like, hey, red flag. Nope, I'm gone.
Have you, Will, in the last, because I know, let's talk about this part here. I know that we met a little over a year ago, like closer to a year and a half ago. Things were great. Then all of a sudden, and we don't have to get too far into this because I know some of this is private and we don't have to talk about it. But I know you and I were working together last year. You were a moderator on my channel at that point. I was helping you, through some stuff that you came to me, and because we were friends and you're a moderator, I always help, my moderators and good friends, at no charge, because we're working together, and that to me is a collaboration, a true collaboration. And, I really, everything that I shared with Will, which we're not going to talk about publicly here, was having his best interest in my head and in my heart. And I remember back in those days, a bunch of people, they got in your head, and then they started to mess with you and stuff, and it kind of set us, they pinned and pitted us against each other. That's what those people do. And then we stopped talking for a while, just like, with Firewolf Studios and some other people that are starting to come back now. But at what point did you start to realize that, what happened back then was just an infestation of some really bad people out here on YouTube? And what we were talking about was more the right direction for you to go. What made you see that? I'm just kind of wondering.
Well, what made me see that is that, like, I don't get me wrong. I didn't stop watching you at all. I still came around and watched your streams and everything. And I noticed that you actually had changed, getting away from the drama and everything like that. Because I was like, that was one of the most reasons why I left.
Too much drama.
Was just drama.
Yep.
You were right about mentioning it on your birthday stream yesterday. Is that it's just because some people felt like you were just feeding into it. That's how I felt. But I was like, you know what? I'm a man, and things just need to be settled and over with. Let bygones be bygones. Things went down. It shouldn't have went down the way it did. And it's just like, you know what? That's in the past. New year, new me. Try to get back with the people that I used to be hanging around.
I just actually figured out I should be putting you full screen because I'm on the bottom portion of my OBS quad screen, and instead of showing my face on the top left square, I can put you full there. Okay, now I'll know how to do it better next time. But yes, so let's go with that, Will. So in essence, you started to realize over the last 4 or 5 months when I started consistently not feeding into these people. Maybe occasionally I'd say an example, but I wasn't responding to their videos. I wasn't doing what I was doing in the past. You clearly got a good sense that I had completely moved past this and it just doesn't faze me anymore, and that I was ready to let it all go. That's what you were seeing. Is that what you were saying? Or
yes, exactly. That's
okay.
what I was seeing, and then me starting to see Firewolf back in there. I was like, well, if he's forgiven him and let things in the past be gone and be done with, I need to start doing it myself too. Because it's not worth losing good people that you used to talk to on a daily basis over a little petty stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And Will, if I can just jump in here for a second. No, I understand how you're feeling. I look back and, the way that I was feeding into this and the way I was behaving out here on YouTube was not me, because I'm a mature guy. I've always handled things maturely in my real life. I just didn't realize how much of a bloodbath YouTube can be if you let these trolls and haters in the court of public opinion get to you. Like, I've never had to deal with so much negativity that was uncontrollable as I did out here on YouTube. And one of the most frustrating things about YouTube has been that you got these people that put these videos out on us, right? They clearly violate the terms of service and the guidelines, and you flag these videos, right? And many people flag them, and they're still up to this day. Now YouTube does take some of them down, but a lot of these people, what was frustrating to me, Will, is that a lot of these people, they figured out a way to play the system, even if they were using my content. Like, one of the main things that was bothering me, and I just let it go, Will. I let it go because in the end, karma's going to get the people going to get those people taken care of without me having to do anything, just focusing on my own stuff. But the thing that upset me the most, and I did a video on this, was the flaw in copyright law where, I've had creators that have, used so much of my content in hundreds of their videos, and they built their entire name off of my name, right? Making money off my content, right? So I would flag these people for copyright. Then what would they do? They would file a counter notification. And when a counter notification is filed, okay, it's challenging my copyright, and they're saying that I used your material under fair use. Now, in some cases, it's fair use. In other cases, when they rebroadcast your entire video. If they do commentary on your entire hour-long video, they're taking away viewers from watching your video on your channel. Now, if they took 5 minutes and did commentary and then said, hey, for the rest of this video, go to this channel and check it out, right? Then that's fair use, right? But what happens? They file the counter notification. Then YouTube sends me the counter notification that says, you now have 10 business days to file a lawsuit, or we're going to restore the video that you took down from the infringer and take away the copyright strike. The only way currently right now, and they're working on changing this law, the only way to sue someone for copyright is to sue them in a federal court that's going to cost tens of thousands of dollars. So now, us small creators, we don't have the money for that or the resources, and it's not worth it, right? So these people that steal our content, infringe our copyright, they know the game, and they continue to play this game with me. And that's part of what was getting to me until I realized one thing, Will. I said, you know what? Here's the thing. If you guys want to steal my content, if you guys want to rebroadcast my content to your cringy drama audience and keep them away from my channel, go for it. I'm gonna let you get away with it. Do what you got to do. I'm gonna focus on building with my audience here. You can have fun with yours, and I'll tell you, eventually, at some point, I'm gonna surpass you. But I'll tell you this: karma has no deadline. And me just moving on, rebuilding my audience. Let's say I get to 100K subs, and now I have a YouTube rep, right? Now I have a YouTube rep. I go to my YouTube rep and say, I tried to handle some things with this channel. This channel has 100 videos out on me. They clearly violate the guidelines. They've been flagged. Nobody does anything about it. This affects me on this platform, and this is against your creator-on-creator harassment policy. So now that you have a YouTube rep, they're going to look into that, and they'll probably take care of that, right? So what I learned, Will, is that even though when I was feeding into this, it wasn't because I wanted to feed into it. It was because I was trying to defend myself and protect my content. What I didn't realize is that it didn't matter what the reason was with these people. These people are looking for any reason to keep the back and forth going, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, right? Doesn't matter if my intentions were pure to respond to them and tell them to stop. Because what happens when you're in grammar school, Will, and people are picking on you, and you tell them, stop, don't tease me, right? They tease you more, right? Because they know it gets to you, because you basically are telling them it's getting to you, right? So what's the only way to get these people to stop? Ignore cold turkey. It's like quitting smoking cold turkey. It's not easy. Does that make sense? So what are your thoughts about what I just said?
I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
That's what I was saying. It's like with my nicotine, I'm like, trying to quit, but it's hard.
Well, when the time is right, bro, when the time is right, you're going to do what's right for yourself. And whatever help you need from me behind the scenes, bro, I'll always help you. But what I was curious to more so also hear is that you were right about walking away, and I realized that. But does it make sense what I mentioned, that, hey, even though I was trying to protect my content and stop these people, and I wasn't trying to attack them by responding to them, it didn't matter. Any type of response to these people in any way, shape, or form, even if it's for the right reasons coming from me, is only giving them more of what they want. They want that back and forth. So the only way to get away from them and eventually get them to stop talking about me and moving on is to cut them up at the knees. I mean, does that make sense to you?
Yeah, exactly. It was basically like you were adding fuel to the fire, and then now you just cut off all that fuel. So that flame's going to go out eventually. Right.
And you know what's funny, Will? What's even more funny is when I first started just cutting them off cold turkey about 5 months ago, they were going around and asking people, what do you have on Eli? What do you have on Eli? They're trying to reach out to people that I talk with behind the scenes, thinking that there's some smoking gun piece of information that's going to destroy my reputation more than they think they've already destroyed it, right? And there was nothing like that, right? And the more and more I kept ignoring them, Will, they would start regurgitating the same content that they created and had already regurgitated a bunch in the past, to the point of where these people's numbers started going down when they would talk about me, and people are just sick of it. So, you're right. Like, you're in control of your own destiny as a person. And, basically, you as a person are the only one that allows negativity to come into your life. I was without realizing it, Will, I was allowing negativity to consume my life. Even though it wasn't my intention to create negativity with them, I didn't realize that just having an association or any type of line of communication with these people, or any door partially being open, is going to affect me. And one more thing, and I want to get your opinion, we'll move on to something else, is that there are a few people from this drama sphere that I actually like and respect. But I even had to get rid of them. No disrespect. I still like these people, but I had to close the door on them. Even though I like these people, I closed the door on them because they are the gateway, the leak back into the drama sphere. If they want to be friends with me and they want to live a positive life, drama-free, like I do and you do, when they completely remove these people from their lives, at that point, maybe I'll welcome them back in. But again, sometimes you have great friends that, you don't really want to remove from your life, but if they want to continue infesting themselves in this drama that you just got away from, you may have to close the door on them. Does that make sense? It's hard, Will, but yeah. It's the only way. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right, because I've actually had to do that in the past. It's just cut ties with certain people, even though they are your friends. It just would lead back into more, you getting pulled back into the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So I know I've been down that road before, and I'm down that road again. I'm going to be starting to close my doors off to. I mean, there are good, like you said, there are good people out in that drama that are part of that drama sphere, but you can't take any chances of the drama coming back.
Right. Now, Will, real quick, let me get to the chat here real quick and see what Mutt's saying. Nuts World earlier said, Will, I remember you telling me that I need to love myself when I was going through the stage where I didn't like how I looked. Do you want to respond to that real quick, Will?
Yeah, I remember that, Nuts. That's what I'm always there for you. If you feel like that's why I was there for you. That's what friends, family. You are like family.
That's what friends are for. I don't know if you've heard that song, Will. You're a little bit younger.
Other family.
Whoa, wait. Hold on a second, real quick. Hold on.
Hello.
Clifford Starks with the $5 super chat. Hey, brother, missed your birthday. Wanted to send belated birthday wishes your way. Clifford, you didn't have to send money, but Clifford, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate it. You're still a moderator here, Clifford. So you can chat for free in my members only chats, but brother, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. We've really gotten things back on track over here. And Clifford, you know what, FuriousReactor, I don't know if you remember Clifford. I've known him for years now. I think stemming back to my former channel when all this was going down. In 2021, I want to get Clifford on a panel with us. And I really want us to just really push forward, because this guy, Clifford Starks, is an amazing dude. He was on a panel of mine a few times on my former channel. And this guy's smooth. Like, this guy's smooth. He's cool. He's intelligent. He doesn't let anything bother him. And we need more Clifford Starks in this world, man. But go ahead, Will. I didn't mean to interrupt you, man.
Yeah, I was telling Nuts that, hey, family doesn't let other family feel bad about themselves. We uplift each other,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why I have you as like a sister, because you do the same thing to me. I remember there was a time that I felt like I wasn't worth nothing. I will say, you slapped some sense into me. Not,
Hey, dude,
not
I
literally,
wouldn't
but
mess with her.
figuratively.
I wouldn't mess with her, dude, because let me tell you, Mutt Nuts will whoop your beep.
Oh yeah. She wanted
I
to whoop
don't mess
my
with that girl.
butt. She wanted to whoop my butt for that stream we did after basically an after party stream. After your birthday stream.
Yeah. I was wiped out after that, Will. I was really wiped out after that. I still need to watch that stream on the replay because I heard it's really good. I have a lot of streams to catch up on. But wow, you guys went another, 3 hours or so?
4 almost.
4, Jesus. So we went almost 4 on my channel, and then you went 4 more on Mutt's channel.
Well, I wasn't there the full time because I was about to pass out on him.
Hey, Will, I remember those days before we had, we can call it a falling out. I think it was just a vacation. Let's call it a vacation apart from each other. All right. But because, the people pinned us against each other, all that stuff, right? But I remember those nights where we were doing some late night streams, dude, and you were wiped out. You looked like you were going to pass out on the stream.
Yeah. I was like,
and you know what? I totally forgot that just because it's midnight where I'm at, it's 3 a.m. where Will is at because he's East Coast. I'm West Coast, right? So yep. I was more so proving to the trolls that used to come out and say, East Coast is the best coast, and then the trolls changed it up and said, well, East Coast is the best coast except for streaming because they're 3 hours behind. So when it's midnight in my neck of the woods, which is still pretty late, it's 3 a.m. in the morning, and we're on a stream, and you're like, yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Go ahead, dude.
Yeah, like, there were times I almost passed out on your stream. It's like, gotta give me caffeine.
I'll tell you what, Will, and then I'll get back to going through the chat, and then we'll talk about one more thing before we wrap things up here. We're at an hour and 7 minutes. We're going to go to about an hour and a half, and want to keep it short so that way people can watch this and find out about your channel. But I'll tell you what, Will, like, this is what I miss doing. I love doing these interviews, especially live. You get that live effect. Plus, I love doing the panel shows because you get to really engage people and you get to answer their questions and you get to share feedback and opinions. And see, that's all I ever wanted in the past, right? But when you're dealing with insecure and immature people that aren't in a good enough place or willing to learn and grow. Like I mentioned at the beginning of my shows when I do my little spiel, right? If this is your first time here, and most importantly, you are open to suggestions and change, then and only then consider subscribing. Because if you're not open to suggestions and change, you're going to be wasting your time over here, right? We can't help anyone that's not open to help, right?
Go ahead, bro. Themselves.
Right, yeah, right.
That's how this world is.
Will, hold on a second.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't mean to cut you off, but Clifford's leaving. Let me just say, have a blessed day, Coach Eli and Mutt Nuts. Nice to meet you, Will. Have a blessed one all. Clifford, thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year if I don't see you. And God bless you and your family, bro. Thank you so much. If you want to say anything before he goes, Furious, go ahead.
But yeah, you have a wonderful rest of your night, Clifford. It was good seeing you in the chat again, man. Because I remember, oh, man. Before we had our vacation from each other.
Our vacation. I love how that sounds, bro.
He would literally come in every time.
Yep.
Especially those late night streams.
Oh yeah. Yeah, Clifford's amazing, dude. We got to work with Clifford in 2021. Blow up his channel.
Oh, definitely.
The guy, I swear, the guy should have 100K sub. The guy has presence and knowledge. You know, I know he's got other things he's working on too, but I think in 2021, I think we're going to see some things happen that, you know, these other people from our past are going to forget about us, that we even exist, or they'll just get even more and more jealous because we're going to be exceeding their expectations. Now, Will, I'm so sorry to have interrupted you a second ago. I wanted to make sure that we acknowledged Clifford before he left, but go ahead and continue. You know, you were saying before you and I went on our vacation per se, right?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Still like the sound of
funny.
that.
That's funny, dude.
But yeah, it was just that we had fun and all that. And we were talking about some serious topics that most people would like to learn about. Like maybe, hey, there was a subject we were talking about that gave insight on things out in the real world, but people didn't want to come around because of all the things that were going on, and that we let them get to us, because the audience that was around probably thought that, hey, what they're teaching, they're not putting into practice themselves, so why should we even listen?
Yeah, I hear you, bro. No, I hear you. And let me do this. Let me go back to the chat here, and let's continue where we left off there before we talk about our final thing here. Let's see. Where did we leave off? The guy I'm dating now tells me to spend time with my friends, and Will, you have met him on my live stream the other night. I am with David. Well, you know, Mutt, I hope you made David aware that if you dox him on a stream, people might come at him. So as long as he's cool with that, see, this is the thing. Any woman, let's talk about that, Will, because this is important. This is one thing that people don't get. If you're going to date someone nowadays, and you're a YouTuber and you've been getting trolled, and let's say you started, you ignore the trolls, right? But then you bring someone new on your channel, someone you're dating, and they find out who she is, right? They're going to harass her. They're going to come after her to try to stir things up with you again. And before you even do that, you got to make your partner aware that if you come on my stream, whether you use your name or not, with facial recognition, they're going to find you. When they find you, they're going to come at you. They're going to ring your phone off the hook. You have to block them. They're going to come at you with emails. They're going to send you all these clips about me out of context. Do you want to risk that? Because I like what we have. And I'd rather not bring you on my channel and have a relationship with you than you say you can handle it, and then after a while you leave because you can't handle it, right? So you got to be real clear. Now, in this case, you've got a woman that's bringing her man on. Typically, no disrespect to women. Men can typically handle the trolling stuff better than women. No disrespect, right? Because women are more emotional than men are, right? Okay? And us men can sometimes overreact to it too. But more so, if you're a guy, you bring your girl on, you got to prepare her. And you just got to understand that even though she says she'll be able to handle it, maybe she'll change her mind and still leave you. You got to understand what you're up against. And same with some guys. Like, there's a YouTuber out there that I've been following for a while. Her name is Catherine Manning. She used to be known as the Content Bug. Maybe you folks have seen her. Maybe Mutt's seen her. She's got almost 300K subs on her main channel. And she's been sharing her stories on how she was struggling over the last several years to make money and to make it as a YouTuber and to make it as a social media expert, right? And she just moved into a house literally 4 months ago with her boyfriend, and then her boyfriend, after like 7 or 8 years of being together or something like that, broke up with her. Now, she didn't mention why they broke up, but I'll tell you exactly why they broke up. Because number one, the trolls and haters probably harassed the guy. And maybe a lot of women trolls were jealous of her and came after him, right? And he was tolerating it for a while. But this is what I think happened. You know how much work it takes to get a YouTube channel successful. Catherine probably was not balancing her YouTube work / personal life, and probably wasn't spending enough time with her man. She was probably taking the fact that they live in the same place for granted. And just because you live with someone doesn't mean you can go in the other room and jerk off all day on YouTube. Pardon my French, it's figure of speech, right? You gotta balance out your work and your personal life. You gotta find time to be with your man, let him rock your world and you rock his world. Look, when I was with my ex, Dana, when I was with her, yes, I did a lot of stuff on YouTube, but let me tell you something. I always took her out on the weekends. We always went hiking. We went to dinner. And every time that I was with her, you know what two people do. I never was too tired to be intimate and close to her. I always rocked her world because I really cared about her, right? So even though I'm a busy entrepreneur, if I'm in a relationship, you got to have that balance. I think what happened with Catherine is she lost a little focus of her relationship and she started taking her boyfriend for granted. When he started to realize that, he left, right? And they probably tried to work it out. But look, when a guy is done, he's done. When a guy is done, he's done. And I'm sure, for a guy, when you're with a woman for 7, 8 years, I'm sure you're going to try to work things out 2 or 3 or 4 times before you finally leave. I am sure they had that conversation many times, and she kept on reverting back to neglecting the relationship, and look what happened, right? And I like Catherine, but why can't women like that, or Catherine, why can't she come out and tell us exactly what happened? Why don't you tell us your part, Catherine, of what you felt killed your relationship? Why don't you explain to us the fact that you were in all this debt and you had to put in all this time and effort to get your channel to where it's at? And how much of a stress was that putting on your man that was working a day job and making good money and being successful? And how many times did your man bail you out? Why aren't we hearing these stories, right? Why won't she share that with us? Because, look, the one thing I take pride in, Will, is being transparent with people. The only way I could be a good enough life coach to be able to coach people and for people to trust me is by sharing what I've been through and the mistakes that I can still make to this day. Life coaches are not perfect people, Will. We still make mistakes no matter how old we are. But it's how we handle those mistakes. Do we own them? And then do we take action to correct them? And then are we transparent with our audience and the people that, we want to trust us? What are your thoughts about that, dude? I know I went on a rampage there, but
you're exactly right. Because without transparency, there's no trust.
Right.
And without trust, there's no relationship.
Right.
And I think everybody wants a relationship with somebody. And I mean, yes, certain things you can kind of avoid the truth a little bit, but you want to be trying to be a little bit transparent as possible, transparent as much as possible.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, not all relationships are perfectly transparent.
You're right. You're right. They should be. They should be.
It's the same with yourself. If you're not transparent about yourself and trust your own self on the way you look, the way you think, that relationship with yourself is never going to improve.
Right. Right. Will, there have been times I've mentioned before where I've gained 20 or 30 pounds. And while I wasn't, an extremely, fat person or obese, I had a little tummy, and I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, dude, you're fat. I had to look at myself and tell myself that I'm freaking fat, right? Because until I own the fact of the truth, right, I'm never going to do anything about it. Like, okay, well, I still love myself, but I love myself more 30 pounds lighter. I also am more healthy when I'm 30 pounds lighter. So overall, mentally, emotionally, and physically, it makes me feel better to be 30 pounds lighter. So I'm going to go on a diet, and I'm going to put myself on a plan for the next 2 months to lose that weight, right? And then I'm able to do it. But until I'm able to identify it and come to terms with that on my own about myself, right? And take ownership of it, then no action, will be taken. So you make perfect sense there. Well, now let me continue through this chat here real quick because there were a few other things. Yes, you are, bro, and I left a ex detailed, or I let an ex derail me, but I am back and have a guy who really supports my YouTube life and likes my YouTube friends, and it is a plus that him and my bro get along. Does this guy live local? Have you met this guy? Have you guys met in person? I know you said you were kind of taking things slow, but I guess things progress. And sometimes you get out of a relationship and, you take a month or two off and you're still rebounding, but sometimes you find someone in the same situation and it still works, even though you've only taken a few months off. My suggestion is, depending on the length of your relationship, I mean, you should take at least, 3 to 6 months off before putting yourself back out there and finding someone new. But for some people, they don't like being alone. And part of being able to move past, the last, relationship that didn't work is by getting yourself back into a new one. But if you're going to do that, just understand that you're technically still rebounding. And if you're with someone else that's rebounding, it may be all hunky-dory for right now, but it could change 3 to 6 months or a year down the road. As long as you understand that anything can happen, go for it, give it your best shot, and see where it goes. But prepare yourself in case it goes the other way. And if it goes the other way, hey, you know what? Take some time off and try again. Keep trying until you find that one that's going to be with you until time ends. So that is that. Clifford Starks earlier said, well said, FuriousReactor. It got crazy, says Muttnuts World. Yep, me and Will are on the same time zone. Yes, you're on the East Coast. And let's see. Muttnuts World says at the bottom of the chat, he knows and he is ready to bring the hammer down on the trolls. And yes, we have been in person. So Mutt's saying that her new man is aware of the trolls and he's willing to deal with the trolls because he really cares about his new woman and he wants to be supportive. What are your thoughts about that, Will? Because we know YouTube is a beast. Hey, you and I didn't know what we were getting into when we came out here at first, right? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we didn't know exactly at first because, let me tell you. When I first started, I thought I wasn't going to get nowhere because I wasn't growing or anything, and people were attacking me. Even when I was a small channel and saying that, hey, you're never going to make it out here. Look at me now.
Right.
I've got over 1,000 subs. I mean, I got good followers that are still sticking with me through thick and thin, like Muttnuts, Firewolf. And now that I like doing this, I like saying this. After we took the vacation. Now we're back talking again, and it's just like, hey, they never really left. We just needed time from each other.
And the honest,
even with family, sometimes you need a vacation from your own family.
Right. And Will, before we talk about the final thing here, because we're going to wrap it up, we're probably going to go a little over an hour and a half because I want to talk about one more thing before we wrap things up here. But, here's the thing. With most of the people that we're reconnecting with, We never really had a falling out. There was never really an issue. What I'm trying to get a lot of people to understand, especially if they're YouTubers, based on my experience, what a lot of these trolls do is they like to pin and pit people against each other in ways that we attack each other for no reason, and then it creates more drama for them, right? So we were both, in my opinion, and I'm not trying to play the victim card, and neither are you, Will. But the truth of the matter is we were victimized by these people, and we didn't realize it. And once we realized how they were playing us so they can have their own cringy content to put on their channel to entertain their audience and make donations, until we realized what they were doing, we were just feeding into it. And then when we said, okay, we're just not going to give them anything, cold turkey, right? And it was interesting to me. Firewolf Studios, aka Chris, reached out to me, I think it was almost a month ago, 3 weeks, a month ago. We started talking, and he shared about some things that we're not going to talk about here for obvious reasons. And I was like, wow, I haven't talked to you guys in like 6 or 8 months. I'm like, I didn't know what was going on. I seriously didn't know what was going on between the two guys, you guys, and you were living together. That's as far as I'll go on that. I didn't even know all of that because I was trying to get out of this drama. And I was dealing with some other things, some legal things. I had to get a restraining order on someone. I was just so consumed with just fixing what needed to be fixed on my end to get to the point of where I'm at right now. But then, like when Chris reached out to me and we started talking, I reminded him, and then he said, "Hey, Will wants to come on." I'm like, "I have no problem bringing Will on. Is Will cool? Are things cool? I don't want, Will to come on and porn bomb my channel or something, right? Like some other people do, and then they get their channel shut down, right? I mean, no, he's cool. He's cool." And I'm like, we're not going to share the situation, but I'm saying the situation you guys are both in, I'm like, I got to say, the way that you guys are handling this, to be honest with you, this is the final thing I want to get into. We're not going to share details. I'm just going to say this is why I feel, Will, you've totally made a change for the better for yourself, and you've realized it, is because you're handling this maturely. Like you were in a situation, we don't have to mention, that you just felt really wasn't working for you, and it wasn't allowing you. This is just my opinion. You can share whatever you want in a second. That you just wanted to work on yourself and have some time to figure things out within yourself, and the situation you were in was not allowing you to do that. And it got to the point of where you wanted to make a change. That's my thought on that. And here's the thing.
You're right.
Let me say one more thing here. You're a good man, and let me tell you something. The situation you were in, I'll speak very vaguely about it. I don't think you were totally in love with that person. You loved that person, but you weren't in love with that person. There's a difference between loving someone and being in love with someone. And I think that you were in a situation where you didn't have the experience and you didn't know what you were expecting, before you got into it. Now, the next person that gets in that situation is we don't want to get too far into it, is getting into it knowing what the situation is like, because it was a learned experience through you. I have to say, Will, I'm proud of the move that you made. And I think and listen, I'm not trying to say I'm any better. I'm not any better than you, dude. I'm just saying this is what I've noticed. I'm acknowledging the greatness you've done for yourself. You've grown leaps and bounds since we last talked. And I'm really proud of you, dude. And I'm going to go live public and say this. And Chris, if you hear this, Firewolf Studios or anyone else, let me tell you, I'm really proud of this guy for the changes he's made. Now, you're going to say, this is what you said, I think you said this on the birthday stream the other day, Will, is that, I still got a long ways to go. I said, dude, all of us, I have a long way to go, Will. And I'm, 25 years older than you or something, right? But we're heading in the right direction. And all that matters is getting on the right path to head back in the right direction. If you're going the wrong way, you're further putting yourself behind. But when you turn it around and you start heading towards the right road, you may still be a long ways away, but at least you're heading in the right direction. That's what's most important. What are your thoughts, bro? I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I just that's what makes me proud about people. This is a proud moment for me, dude. Please forgive me if I'm being too much.
No, it's just that, hey, it's like you said, there were things that just wasn't it wasn't the situation I'm trying to see how to word this.
It's hard, dude. I know.
Pardon me. But I got myself into a situation that I didn't fully understand because I had no experience in it. And as it went on, I realized, hey, this ain't for me. It's like, as I was like, I'm not being able to, like you said, purpose. It was like I couldn't find my own purpose in the situation I was in.
Yeah.
Because I was always constantly worrying about other stuff and not myself. Because you got to change yourself before you can do anything else with anybody, with a significant other. Otherwise, it's not going to last long. And ever since things went down and we went our separate ways. I mean, yes, I still care about the person to this day. No matter what, we're still friends. And it's like an episode of, like, I've brought this up multiple times, but it's like something that Medea used to say. People are like trees. Some are there for the season, and some of them are there for a lifetime.
Right.
It's like they were part of that were there, that are the roots, but they weren't. They were only there for my life for learning purposes, so I could learn from the situation.
Right.
So I know that, hey, the next time I get in a situation with the same kind of situation, I know what I'm getting into. And I'll be able to take it more head on and more fully knowledgeable about it.
Yeah. I'm proud of you, dude. Dude, let me jump in here for a second and just say I'm really proud. And the thing is, this is what I saw. Like, what a lot of people don't understand, and this is part of the thing that the trolls and haters use to pin people like you and I against each other. For me, I'm really good and very intuitive at picking up when people just aren't happy, especially good people that I like and care for. Like, dude, you're a charismatic guy. You have a happy personality. You're a funny guy. When you're not in an emotional state, us guys get there too, because sometimes, we're with someone, we get emotionally attached, and then we realize we're not the right person for us. And we have to remove ourselves. We feel guilty, but we're not going to feel happy within ourselves until we do that. It's a tough situation for any man to be in, Will, and I've been in that situation many times. I understand it. So when I saw you and you're trying to be this good guy, you're trying to be the man, and I just saw you were not happy. I realized why you were not happy. And for me, it was all about not just only, trying to share my opinion and give my advice on what I feel would be best for you, in my opinion, but also what would be best for her too. because it's about both people. When you're dealing with a couple, it's about what's best for the both of them, right? And
Exactly.
and look, again, like I said, Will, like, you're a good guy. Listen, we're guys, but there are times where we're going to have emotional moments. There's nothing unmanly about having emotions at times, especially in these situations. Now, if we're emotional 24/7, then that's why they say, dude, quit acting like a girl, dude. Because when you're an emotional wreck like a man, in essence, you're acting more feminine than masculine. But at times, this is real masculinity right here, where you can feel emotion over a situation like this because you really care. And there's a difference, Will. I had to learn this too in my younger days, from my younger days. There's a difference between being in love with somebody and loving someone. You can love someone and not be in love with them. And there's a difference. You're not going to be completely happy being in a relationship, committed, dating relationship or romantic relationship with someone that you're not in love with. You can love that person and not be in love with them. Like, you don't wish this person any harm and you hope everything pans out. It just got to the point for you that you realize that this is not the path you want to go down in your life. I mean, please correct me if I'm wrong, dude. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but Luke, that's why I see you, even though you say you have a ways to go, and even though there are times where you're going to have your moments, I see you much happier now. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, that you're much happier.
Oh, I am. And hey, I mean, that's why I'm doing myself first. Like, I know I've got a purpose. I got to do this and this to get where I need to be at in my life. And once I reach that goal, I'm going to be so happy that I won't even know what to do.
And I'm going to be there, dude, if you allow me to be there. Because, look, man, it's not every day that you come across good people. It's not every day I come across guys your age that, are mature guys and want to handle things maturely and want to be cool. Now, don't get me wrong. We all have our moments, dude. We're guys. Even me at 47, me being an old F word, let's just say it that way. Me being an old F, trying to appease you, AI. I know we can swear every now and then, but you don't promote the videos as much, even if you don't demonetize it for a few swear words. The closed captioning reads it, and then they don't share it as much. So I'm going to just call it myself, even though I'm an old F, okay, compared to you, I still have my moments. I still have those times where I'm going to go through things. And, there's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly normal to go through these situations, but to see, especially someone like you in your mid-20s, and to see someone like your friend Chris, Firewall Studios, who's in his late 20s, he's about to enter his 30s, and for you guys to be more mature than the typical guys your age is amazing for me to see. And this is what I want to work with you guys on, helping you grow your channels, and then doing some panels on all of our channels and trying to help we want to help women too. I help men and women, but in this case here, I honestly feel that guys your age, in their late teens and throughout their 20s, they need help. Correct me if I'm wrong, Will. These guys are lost, and they're not lost because they're stupid. They're not stupid. No one's teaching these guys how to be men. And they're coming from broken households, and they're out there trying to figure this out on their own, just like you've been trying to do it, Will, right?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And the reason why they're not teaching these guys is because the system is spending more time and money empowering women, which is a great thing, but they're forgetting about men. So we have to fend for ourselves, come out here on YouTube and social media and try to help men understand these things that are crucial for men to be successful at life. What are your thoughts, bro? And then we'll go through
You're
final
right.
thoughts.
We need to teach the younger generations that are getting ready to be in their teens and their late 20s or early 20s, early mid 20s, what this real world's like.
Right.
For us men nowadays. So they get a fully better understanding of what they're getting themselves into instead of just going into this world blind.
Yeah.
Because without any knowledge, they could end up in somewhere they don't want to be at. They could even end up on the streets.
Right.
And have nowhere to go.
You're right. You're absolutely right, Will. And I got to say, dude, like I'm just really proud of the fact that you can come out here after all this time and learn things. Like I learned things about how to handle things on YouTube better. At the same time, you had some things going on in your personal life outside of YouTube, same with me. And we kept it together. We pushed forward. That's what men do. We pushed forward. And here we are, 6, 8, 9 months later down the road after the vacation, like we've been calling it, away from each other, between you, myself, Chris, Firewolf Studios and some other people. And now this experience just bonds us more and makes us stronger as men. And now what we want to focus on, in my opinion, is work on getting more and more people out of that rut and getting them in the position of where we're at. And that's what I feel is going to help all of us grow further. Let me see here real quick. Okay. Sorry, I was just looking at a text I got real quick there. I'm sorry about that. Will, why don't we go through final thoughts here? Share your final thoughts, and then I will let you go, and I'll address the audience full screen once you're done sharing your thoughts, and then I'll take you out of the panel. Then you can watch the rest of the show, the last few minutes of the show on YouTube. But go ahead, bro. What are your final thoughts?
But yeah, my final thoughts is that just remember, before you can get around in this world, always, and don't be like as a selfish way, but you gotta love yourself before you can do anything in your life. Because if you don't, you're not gonna feel good about yourself, and anything that you do, you're just gonna feel like crap, and you're not gonna get anywhere in life constantly being negative. You want to have that positivity out in the real world, especially in this one nowadays. Because without it, you're going to be lost. Like a puppy lost out on the streets trying to find its home with no direction to go in. Just trust me. I've been down that road, and I started realizing it too late in my life. But now that I've realized it, I know what I got to do. You got to have your own purpose in your life. You got to know what you want to do. And once you find that purpose, go for it. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Don't let nobody get in your thoughts or anything in your life. Block that out and you do yourself and do your own thing. Because once you get to where you're at and know that purpose, you're going to feel 1,000 times better, and you're going to feel like a lot of stuff has been taken off your shoulders once you reach your goal.
Wow. Dude, I got to say this before you go here. You keep talking about how important a man's purpose is. And I remember when we first started talking, and that's the one thing I was trying to share with you, and I've been trying to share this with as many people as possible, that for a man's purpose is everything. And a man's purpose has nothing to do with the woman he's with. And any man that makes his woman his purpose, that relationship will never work out, because women are attracted to a man that has his own purpose deep within, outside of their relationship and outside of everything else. Your purpose as a man has nothing to do with your friends, family, girlfriend, wife, whatever. It has to do with who you are, how you see yourself, and what you make yourself become, independent of anyone else in the world. You come into this world alone as a man, right? And you're going to leave alone, right? Same thing with women, but we're just talking about men right now, right? So what are you going to make out of yourself to even initially attract people to want to be around you, right? So I tell this, and a lot of guys, it's not you, Will. It wasn't just you back then. Will, you're learning this a lot faster than I learned it, dude. Look, I was beyond your age, into my early 30s to maybe mid-30s before I really, really understood the purpose thing, right? So you're in your mid-20s. And you're tough on yourself, dude, which is not a bad thing, because you're still young and you got time. But see, if I knew even 1/3 of the things that you're learning now back at your age, I would be a billionaire today, dude. And I'm not saying that for the money. I'm saying I wish I had the technology and the resources to learn this information back when I was your age. Because if you look back, when I was 25, we're looking at 21 years ago? 22 years ago, right? So I'm 47, 25, 35, 45, 40, 22 years ago. YouTube just came out about 16 years ago. When I was at your age, YouTube was still about 5 years from being introduced. And early on YouTube, this information wasn't available anyway, right? So with the information out here today, the technology we have the power to help people like you and others, make the best purpose out of their life happen. And that's what I see you doing. And I'm proud of you, dude. Again, I understand everything you've been through. I understand the emotional aspect. I understand you being hard on yourself on that. But honestly, dude, you've come a long way, and you understand this now better than most people your age. And see, that's all I was trying to get through to you and others back then. And again, I never tell anyone what to do. I just like to help uplift people. Like, before you go, was that something that you look back on, those conversations we had? And again, I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I'm not trying to seek validation or anything. I want to learn from you too, Will. Was that conversation we had back in those days about the man's purpose, was that the thing that stuck in your head the most? Like, honestly, like what was it that even made you want to come back?
Yeah, it was like there was a bunch of stuff that we talked about that stuck in my head, but the thing that kept coming up was purpose. A man's purpose is what he thinks of himself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And without a purpose, a man's nothing.
Nothing. Oh, you felt it, man.
We're just an empty shell.
Yep. It hit you hard, huh? It hit me hard when I realized it, dude, in my early to mid 30s, right? You have to hit rock bottom with yourself as a man and say, I have no freaking purpose. I got to figure out my purpose because I don't like feeling this way. You're not going to realize it until you hit rock bottom, and then you start to really think, like, what's really going on here, right? Go ahead, dude. Go ahead.
Yeah, you're right. And that's what stuck in my head, was it's like, he's right. I got to think of myself and work on myself before I can be in any kind of relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I'm doing now. I'm working on myself first, whether it takes 3 months to even a year or longer. before I get into my next relationship.
Don't be afraid to put yourself out there, bro.
But yeah, I just want to make sure that I'm ready. And I know I'm ready. And I know my purpose has been, and that I know my purpose has been fulfilled in my life.
Right. Wow. Well, anything else you want to mention before I let you go from the StreamYard, and then I'm going to wrap this up solo for about 3 or 4 more minutes. Dude, I'm blown away in a good way. Anything else you want to mention, dude? Subscribe, bang the bell, right, to FuriousReactor Gaming. Select all notifications.
Yep. And also, like what I say to my followers, keep that positivity out in the real world and keep it in your own head and mind as you go through your daily lives. And keep sharing it. Like I keep that positive mental attitude no matter what. Because without it, the world's going to just seem like it's a blank canvas.
Mm-hmm.
And as always, stay reactive.
Hey, before you go, and I keep saying that, but this will be the last thing, I promise you. There was a guy before your time. You may have heard him. His name was Casey Kasem. He's no longer around. He used to do the weekly top 40.
I grew up on him.
Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. He would always say that.
That man's a legend.
Right? Yeah, legendary. Legendary. Casey Kasem. Keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. I'm Casey Kasem. Right? Yeah. I try to do a good impression of him, but yeah, dude, that's what it's all about. Keeping your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars. And if you have that mindset, eventually whatever it's meant to be is going to manifest, man. I'm big on manifestation. As a matter of fact, I'm probably going to do some streams on manifestation coming soon. But anyway, FuriousReactor Gaming, a.k.a. Will. Dude, I want to thank you for being here, bro. Folks, please subscribe to Will's channel. The link is below in the description, about 2 lines down. It's youtube.com/C/8-bit reactor, which was your old channel name. He used to be 8-bit reactor. I think he's gone up to like 32 or 64 bits by now, so he had to change his name to Furious because 8 bits is kind of dated. You should be like 64-bit reactor now. Well, Furious, well, you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
But it's all good, dude. But yeah, you know, you can even change your name as well, too, by going in the back end of YouTube Studio into the customization section. But that's up to you. No big deal. But Will, thank you so much for being here, bro. And you enjoy the rest of your night. I'll be in touch with you and the rest of the mods tomorrow through Hangouts, and we'll go from there, bro. All right, bro?
All righty.
All right, dude. Have yourself a good one. Take it easy, man.
You too.
All right, bye. All right. So, folks, that was, let's go back to full screen here. That was Will, a.k.a. FuriousReactor Gaming. Maybe he should have changed his name to 64-bit reactor or something like that, or add that in there. I'm just having a great time. Having fun. Folks, I didn't even mention about the background. I like the background. It's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cool? I didn't even ask Mutt what she felt about my background, and she's gone now. She's left. All right, everyone. Yeah, I really like the way things are heading here on my channel. We've really gotten back on track. We're starting to do more interviews. We're starting to do more panels. We're starting to collaborate and take things in the right direction in a positive way. And all I wanted to mention before we get on out of here is that if you'd like to collaborate with myself, Coach Eli, Elias, Melas, or the Grip on Life channel, you want to do an interview one-on-one or do some collab videos or, find out how you can become a moderator, okay, all you need to do is go below the description and email me at coacheli@coacheli.com. One more time, that's coacheli@coacheli.com. Make me aware of who you are, share your channel link, and let me know how you feel we could work together. I'm looking to work with people that are professional, that are mature, and that are looking to truly help people with personal development regarding their dating relationships and marriages. But I'm also looking to work with other entrepreneurs that have a business sense, because I'm also a business coach. I also help people find that dream corporate job, if that's the route they want to go, maybe based on the degree they may have, or if you want to transition from becoming a corporate employee or working for someone else, transition into becoming a self-employed entrepreneur. I have a lot of experience in doing that, and I can help people with that. And I'm also looking to work with other coaches or other people that have the entrepreneurial mindset and love, teaching people how to make that change from working for someone else to working for yourself, which has a potential of making you more money and giving you greater flexibility so you can enjoy life in the way it was meant to be enjoyed. So that is that. We're going to wrap it up here tonight at 1 hour and 56 minutes. I want to thank everyone for being here tonight. Thank you to Mutt Nuts World. Thank you to Clifford Starks, again, for stopping on by, and the $5 super chat for my birthday. Dude, I appreciate it. You didn't have to do that, but thank you once again, Clifford Starks. Thank you to Lewis Fuller, who was here earlier as well. And also, anyone else that was watching behind the scenes. And once again, Will, a.k.a., Furious Reactor Gaming, 64-bit reactor. I'm hooked on that now, bro. Thank you for joining me on the show tonight. It was fantastic, and I look forward to the possibilities. With that being said, folks, have yourselves a great night, and I'll see you all next time. Take care. Bye.